Hi guys, it's Mary Jo from Mary Jo's Creations. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to today be showing you all the things that I've made so far from January till now for myself. And then I will be doing another video showing you all the stuff that I've made that is either up or will be going up on my Etsy page very soon. Now, I've been having some problems with my phone. I've tried making this video like 3 times already and I've been having problems. So I'm going to try one more time and I'm just going to go through, just show you the stuff that I've made. I'm not going to try it on or anything. I'm going to try and keep this video as short as possible because when I've tried to make them by like trying everything on and showing you, I've had problems and I'm just going to try and make it as short as possible. The first thing I want to show you is this cape that I made when I was, into making triangle shawls. I made it a little bit too big, so I turned it into a cape. I made some bands and I put them on here, tie them so that way it fits more like a cape. I could take them off if I want and turn it in and just wear it as a shawl. I have this cardigan that I made here, and it's the first one that I put buttons on. So you can see that I made buttonholes and I sewed on my first pair of buttons. And this was one of my first cardigans. I made 2 raglans. I made this one, and the first one, it came out super big, but I didn't take it apart. I just kept it, and I use it around the house. It's like super big. It falls off the shoulders, and it's actually long enough that if I want to, I can wear it as like a mini dress. But this was this is the first raglan I ever made, and I don't normally wear sweaters. I don't like sweaters. I rather have cardigans because I like to layer. So I want to have something that I can just take off when I get too hot or put on when I get cold. All year round, I usually wear tank tops because I'm very hot most of the time. But this was the second one, my second attempt, and it did come out a lot better. It came out fitted. I also learned how to, taper it on the bottom so that way it's like form fitted throughout the sweater and not just tight around my boobie area. And that's how this one came out. I have so many things. I didn't realize how much I had until I started making this video. Now I'm going to show you all the tank tops that I've made so far. And this was the first one. Then I made this one. And I made all the backs a little bit different because I was just trying to see what way I like best. I didn't like this one too much because it came out a little bit busy, but it fits nice, and if I wear it with just a pair of black pants or a black skirt, it looks pretty, and I wouldn't pair anything else with it because, again, I think it's way too busy for that, but it came out pretty nice. And then I made this one for St. Patty's Day, and I made a kind of like a matching little shrug to go with it from scrap yarn. It was really the first scrap yarn project that I ever made. I had a bunch of yarn left over from, well, not a bunch, but a little bit of yarn left over from the cape that I made and from the tank top that I made, and it was still kind of cold in March, so I did make this little shrug. Like, the sleeves aren't all the way long, they're like 3/4 length sleeves, and it's just a bunch of scrap yarn. Now, I did make it to go with the tank top, but after, seeing it on, I think it's too much, so I would wear it separately, but I do like it and it's cute. And then I also made this tank top here out of 2 granny squares. And those are, I believe, are all the tank tops that I made and the sweaters. So next I have like a pile full of cardigans. So I'm just going to get right into it and show you these Hexie cardigans. I am going to try on just so you can see how they look. This was the first one that I made, and I think it came out really cute. This is Mandela yarn, and this is like a size medium. I did make the sleeves extra long because I have very long arms and I like my sleeves long, so this one did come out rather with really like long sleeves, but that's how I like to wear my sleeves. Now that I'm making them to put up on my Etsy website, I'm not going to make the sleeves as long because I know that a lot of people don't have long arms like I do. But that was the first one that I made. And this was the second one. Now, when I made that one, I only had 3 skeins, and it wasn't enough to finish the whole thing off. So I did have to go and buy an extra skein just to finish off the border and the sleeves, and I had a lot of yarn left over, so I made something else. But this is the cardigan, the Hexie, that I made with yarn from Michaels, Loops and Threads, and it's 2 different colorways, a pink and a purple one, and I didn't have enough of one colorway to make one solid Hexie, so I combined the yarns and made it pink and purple. And then with the leftover yarn, I was trying to make a granny square top. This was actually the first attempt. That blue one that you just saw, that was my second attempt. And this was the first attempt, and I didn't know really what I was doing. Sometimes I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And I made it way too big. I made the square to fit me completely and not realizing that I still had to put it together and do the border on the top for the straps and the bottom. So it ended up coming out really super long. And I actually use it as a dress. So I've worn this already with a little slip dress underneath, a little black slip dress, and I've worn it as a dress. Or, you can always use it like with a pair of tights. Or I've also think that if I go to the beach and I have a little black bikini on or a purple bikini, I can just throw this over if I want to go on the boardwalk and just have a nice little beach cover up. And then I'm going to save my special piece for last this time. I did make shorts. Now, again, I always tend to make the same thing twice, at least. So the first time is usually the first time that I make it, and I measure it out and I make it to see how it looks. And for the most part, it usually comes out a lot bigger than I want it to come out. And then I always write that down. I have a little notebook that I keep notes in, and I write it down. And then the second time I make it to where I adjust it the size so that it fits properly. And these shorts were the first ones that I made, and they came out way too big. But I do use them as house shorts. They're very, very big, very loose, and they were made from two different panels that I sewed together in the front and in the back. And I just overestimated and made them way too big. So then I decided to make another pair like I normally do, and I made these, and they are smaller and they fit me a lot better, and I love them. I think they're cute. They look good on. It is made from acrylic, and I know that acrylic is not the best yarn to use to make for shorts, but I wanted to use acrylic because it's a little bit easier using acrylic the first time. And I have made a pair of shorts recently in cotton to go with a matching top, but I'm not going to show those yet because I'm still debating on whether or not I want to put it on and take a picture of it to share with you guys. But these are the second pair of shorts that I made. And the way I like to do it is, instead of doing like the ribbing on top and making them tight on top, I like to do a row of double crochets and then make a rope, double strand the yarn, and just make a long chain and feed it through. And I made a drawstring, and I like these. These are also a little bit baggy, but again, for the second time, I think that they came out pretty good. I might make another pair and try to get them closer to my size, but I rather make them big and be able to wear them still than make them too small and can't fit into them. I have wide hips, and it's sometimes hard for me to judge it correctly, even with measurements, because yarn stretches. So I didn't take that into account with the measurements and then everything else. But I'm working on it. Again, I've only been really crocheting and making wearables for the last 6 months or 7 months, since January. So it's still a great learning process. This was one of my cardigans that I'm very proud of. I'll slip this on real quick so you can see this one. And at first I did make it short. I made it up to here because that's the only amount of yarn that I had. And I did wear it like that for a little while, but I don't like sweaters that are too short on me. So when I got extra yarn, I did extend it. I extended it that way, and I did make the front a little bit longer. So I'm just debating on whether or not I should put buttons. If you think I should add buttons, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. But I like this one. I like the way it came out. I like the way it feels. I'm very proud of it. I think that extending it was the best thing that I did, and I really love it now. I also made a shawl. This was my first shawl, and it came out super big. It won't fit on the screen, but this is how it looks. And I love the way it came out. It's super soft and super warm. And then I did make this scarf here. I believe I made this in the beginning of January, And it's because I was watching a bunch of Passionate Kelsey's videos, and she was making blanket scarves over Vlogmas. And I just thought it was something that I like. I don't like thin scarves. I like thicker scarves and long scarves. This one goes all the way down to my knees. And it's a lighter yarn. It's a 3-weight yarn, and it's nice and, a little bit more flowy. And for my first scarf, I think it came out pretty good. And I also made 2 hats. This one and this one is like a slouch hat where I can tuck my hair in if I don't have my hair up and I don't want it down. Like with this one, I have to wear my hair down, but with this one, I can just tuck my hair into the hat, and I like the way it looks. It looks good. But you let me know if you like the hats. And I'm thinking that, like, these are my own patterns. I wrote these patterns. This is my design. And I still have to tweak a few things. Like, I want to make the rim a little bit taller and have it fold over so it's a little bit higher. So I will be doing these again in closer to December. Like maybe in September I'll start working on these, and I'll let you know because I might be putting these up on my Etsy page. I also made this one. I still, after making the dress, I still ended up having a little bit of extra yarn, and I made a little slouch hat that I can wear with, the cardigan if I want to. It looks really cute. I know it looks kind of plain and not too cute when it looks like this, but on it looks super nice. I like it. I just have to, it's not fully finished. I just have to sew in the end and put a tag on it. But I have 2 pieces left that I want to show you. And these are 2 of my, I could say like 2 of my favorite pieces that I've made so far. I had ordered this yarn from Amazon before I really knew what I was doing. I had found this yarn on Amazon Prime, and it was, cheap. And I didn't realize that the skeins were tiny. So I did place an order, and when I got it, like the skeins were like small. I think they were like 50 grams. They were very small skeins, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I held on to it for months. And I was at the point where I didn't know what I was going to do with the yarn. And then I was watching some YouTube videos, and I saw a whole bunch of people making scrap yarn sweaters. So I figured that I would take the yarn, and I didn't have enough to make a full sweater. So I figured that I would make a little bolero, and I'll put this on so you could see what it looks like. And again, I still did not have enough yarn to finish it off. So I did have some white yarn from Mainstay that I used on the rims of the hats. And I had some extra yarn left over. So what I did was I finished off the sleeves in the Mainstay yarn. And I added just a couple of more rows. I think it was just, 3 rows of half double and a row of single on the bottom, just to make it a little bit longer, because I do have really big boobies. So when it finished, it was like up to here, and I didn't like the way it sat, so I made it just a little bit longer so that it would cover them completely. And I think it came out super cute. Let me know what you think, if you like it. And the last piece is one of the last pieces that I made for myself. And I saw this yarn in Walmart, and it was on sale, and I fell in love with it. It's a Mandala yarn, and the colors are beautiful. And I didn't realize when I bought it that it was a size 3 weight, because if I had, maybe I wouldn't have gotten it. But I fell in love with the colorway, and it was so beautiful, and I got it. And it did take me a little bit longer than the other Hexies to work up, because I think it was because of the fact that it's a 3 weight. But I did have enough yarn so that I can make my first hoodie. Now let me know what you think. So it's a lighter yarn, it's more flowy, and it is like a good yarn that it's not too heavy, so I can wear it like if it gets a little cold outside right now, or right now it's excruciatingly hot. But you know, you go to a store and the air conditioner is on. This is something that I like to take with me and just use it if I'm in a place where it's too cold and I need to put a little sweater on and I can take it off. But this is by far the thing I'm most proud of up until now, because I made my first hood. I think it looks cute. I love the colors. And you let me know what you think of my first hoodie. And that's all the stuff. Yes, that is all the stuff that I have made from January until now for myself. I am going to end the video here. It's, 21 minutes. I'm hoping that there are no mistakes in the video feed and I can upload this as soon as I'm done. Unfortunately, like I've told you in a few other videos, I can't edit videos at the moment, and my phone is not the greatest, and there's not too much memory left, and it's just been crazy trying to get videos to upload to you guys. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you like watching my videos. If you've seen my other videos and you like them, thank you. I hope you stick around for more videos. If you haven't seen my other videos and you like this one, go check those out. I would appreciate it. You give me a like, thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button. It's free for you, and it'll help me. And I'm just going to continue to post, and hopefully I can inspire someone else to pick up a crochet hook and come and crochet with me. I hope I get to see you all soon. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.